Very good morning, traders. This is John Jacobs here for RMDTRADER, and this week we will be looking at the dollar rand, the euro USD, GBPUSD, and the Australian dollar USD, the US 500, US crude, gold, and also Bitcoin. Welcome to this week's market overview, and I'd like to remind you that these videos will be published every Monday 7 o'clock sharp, so please subscribe and make sure to hit the alert button so that you can be notified as soon as they go live. Then we will also be running a poll on what you like most in this video, so please stick around until the end, and I'm going to let the disclaimer roll and see you in the charts. Starting with the dollar rand, as expected last week, we did see the Reserve Bank cut our interest rates by 50 basis points. We have also seen that S&P decided to maintain our economic status on junk. And now with the COVID-19 regulations and its impacts, they are also expecting our economy to shrink by 4.5% for the year. But looking at the chart, and also as mentioned on our video last week, we have finally seen the breakout of the consolidation, and we found support right on. Let me just quickly move over to a weekly pivot. You'll see where that support was actually found. We found support right on the weekly S3 pivot with slight consolidation and also a retest of this diagonal support level in the magenta that we can see running through here. My expectation is that price, or at least the rand, will see more strength for the week to come, with the 1670 level as well as the 1650 levels being our levels of support. In the medium term, I suspect that we will see more rand weakness, with price probably coming back to retest levels such as our monthly pivot right here at 1850. But for now, I think we can rather look out for rand strength closer to these lower levels. Moving over to the euro USD. Euro USD has also seen a break out of the consolidation, although the break turned out to be more of a fake out, with the resistance level right around the 1.1. Well, let's just make it 1.099 level being retested, so that would be our previous highs. And clearly, the market is finding it quite difficult to break through this level. It's not unlikely that we will see another go at this level. As we can see, there's already some support that we have found on this 1.89-ish level, with a possible bottom forming, currently in the process of forming, giving us another attempt at the breakout. If not, if we do see more weakness, we can see a further sell-off and expect the market to retest the 1.082 level on the lower diagonal line. It's worth noting that we do have a holiday in the US tomorrow, just looking at our economic calendar, with most of the economic news happening on Thursday, with our jobless claims at 2:30, and also the new home sales around about 4. So yeah, I don't think we're going to see too much action other than maybe some consolidation or a little bit, or price going a bit lower and retesting this level. Moving over to the GBPUSD. The pound has seen some weakness going into this week, with a slight recovery on when was this, on Thursday, I believe. No, this was not on Thursday, my apologies. So this was on, we actually saw a slight recovery with more weakness to follow as the week progressed. At this stage, I believe, just looking at our pivots quickly for some direction. Let's change that to our weekly pivot. Okay, so it appears that we are rejecting the weekly pivot level and also seeing price move lower to this level or monthly level of support at 1.21. And after this level is retested, we will likely see a break either lower to something like the 1.2 to support at 1.2 level, where we are likely to find some more support. Yes, that is correct. We will probably see some support right around this level. And if not, if we were to find some support on this 1.21 level, I think we might see the markets rebound and go find, well, at first the retest is 1.225 level and also this diagonal level of resistance where we will converge with the 200 SMA on the 4-hour time frame. Looking at the Australian dollar USD, the Australian dollar seems to be currently moving in this channel. We have a diagonal channel that's currently forming here. I can see that we are currently on the weekly, well, we did retest this weekly R1 pivot level with a possible retest of this upper support, this diagonal support, and that will bring us back to the high that we saw this week. But probably the more likely scenario at this stage would be a retest of the lower diagonal level and also closer to what I suspect to be the new weekly pivot round about the 0.64 level. So definitely worth watching out. We'll also see that we'll also notice that the 200 SMA on the 4 hours also sitting well below us, and that will also be a level to watch out for a retest. Moving on to the US 500. The US 500 also consolidating. We have this broadening pattern that is emerging, and the price has made various attempts now at this level of resistance at 2,960. There's a good chance that we might see a break sometime this week. Very unlikely to happen tomorrow with the US holiday, but if this were to break, I think the 3,000 level will very quickly be tested, and also the support level roundabout this 3,050 to 3,100 range to be retested. I think that also coincides with, just double check that. Let me just quickly zoom in a little bit out, going to a daily time frame. So that would also coincide with our R1 monthly pivot sitting on 3,097. So expecting a move lower will probably see us retesting the 2,800 level with the diagonal support also sitting at this level. So best to watch out, keep an eye out for this consolidation and this range with a break above the high or the low of last week, giving us our upside targets or perhaps our downside targets. Looking at gold. Gold's still, I'd say, bullish, although we did see price moving very briefly back to a level of support after this breakout out of the 1,735 level. We saw a very strong rejection and also consolidation currently on this level. I just quickly want to have a look at the yearly pivot levels again, and perhaps we'll need to zoom out slightly to get a better understanding of what's happening there. Yes, so what we've found is that gold has found strong resistance on this R2 level, obviously finding it difficult to break through. I still remain bullish on gold and expect a break higher to the 1,800 level, as indicated here with this magenta line, and this will also be our diagonal resistance up here. But looking at lower pivot levels, just going back to monthly pivot levels, we can see the rejection of this week happened right on this R1 monthly pivot level, and also I think that this is a very likely scenario that we will see this level retested, although also taking into consideration that the 200 SMA remains just below the current price action, so that also remains a viable target in the short or in the interim at least. Yeah, definitely worth keeping an eye out for a break of this diagonal, just connecting these swing highs. So yeah, a break above this level, let's say around about 1745, will definitely be bullish, with a move below the current level of support around the 1720 level, being bearish in the short term. But yeah, my overall stance remain bullish, and this might even turn out to be a bull flag. Looking at crude oil, just before I look into crude oil, also note that crude oil inventories is on Thursday 5 o'clock and will have a severe impact on our oil price. From what I can see in the charts is I believe we might still see this 35.65 level retested, and with a retracement and support sitting around the $28 level. So yeah, definitely this range worth looking out for any potential trades. Depending on what we might see on Thursday, we might see a break above this 35 level, with a gap still sitting around about the 42 level. But if we were to see a move lower from this level of support, which I think is actually unlikely at this stage, we might see a move lower to this 18 Rand level. So yeah, the levels to watch out for is the first test of this 35.80-ish level of resistance. If that were to break, we might see a retest of this 42 level, and if we were to move in the opposite direction, we might see a move lower to at least first test this 200 SMA level around about, I'd say, the 20 level, and perhaps even as low as 18. But yeah, for the week to come, it's best to perhaps rather trade small and wait for the crude inventories on Thursday. Moving on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin surprisingly saw a lot of weakness, and not the type of price action that we expected for this week. As I understand, there was a rumor that, well, not necessarily a rumor, but a large amount of Bitcoins was moved this week from a Bitcoin wallet that as expected was suspected to belong to Satoshi Nakamoto, and he is the founder of Bitcoin. And the way this was figured is because looking at the date of the Bitcoin wallet from where these coins were moved dates back to the time of Bitcoin's inception. So for some reason, this has caused the crypto investors to be more risk adverse, and we did see a sell-off of the market. We are very quickly approaching the 200 SMA on the 4 hour, which will definitely act as some support. I'm slightly worried that the rejection that we saw of the weekly pivot last week might indicate weakness, taking us lower to perhaps something like 8,500. I believe the case for 10,000, the 10,000 level, which we did not manage to test this week, remains viable for this week, although I think we would need to see a clear break above the 9250 level to actually take out the 10,000 level. If we were to do that and break through this diagonal level as well, we will likely very quickly see price move to the 10,300 to 10,500 range, and I believe there might even be a chance for price to move as high as the 11,000 range if we were to break through these levels. So best to keep your risk small and keep an eye out for price action. 200 SMA definitely, in my opinion, a level of support to look out for, and then definitely this to 9,500 level also worth keeping an eye out for. So if the 9,500 level to break, I think we will see that 10,000 level being tested. And if we were to see a rejection of this 200 SMA around about 8,800 at this stage, we will likely see a move lower and support at this stage sitting around about 8,400. That concludes our market overview for the week. I hope you found it useful. Good luck with your trading. Watch out for the alerts on Thursday, and if you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know. Leave us a comment, and otherwise I'll see you bright and early Monday morning. And until then, trade smart and trade successful.